Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamlined Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. Tonight's video is a lot more questions than it is answers. Now, this is the second business that I've built at Streamlined Legal. Before that, I had my law practice that I built and sold. And I've never yet worked with a partner in business, right? I owned both the law firm and Streamlined Legal individually myself. Had a lot of team members over the years, had a lot of great team members that have helped me to build these businesses, but I've never had an actual partner. And so I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about partnership because I meet a lot of law firms working with Streamlined Legal, and I noticed that a lot of firms will have partners, right? That's a pretty common thing. But what I'm noticing more and more is that when we get people coming to work with us at Streamline Legal, we get a lot of partnerships where one individual is a lot more invested, so to speak, in the running of the business, and the other partner is less invested. And I think that can work out really nicely, right? Because if we're looking to join up with people that have different strengths than we do, then that can be a real benefit to us. And so I think that there is opportunity there for those partnerships to really thrive and to do well when we're recognizing the strengths of one partner versus the strengths of another, and how the two can work together, or three, or however many there are, can work together to build such a practice. But what I'm seeing a lot of that I'm a little surprised by, frankly, is that especially in hourly billing firms, we have some partners that are quite good at tracking their time and other partners that are not as good at tracking their time. And I'll extend it to even further than just time tracking, but just the billing habit in general, right? Like there'll be one partner that's, right on top of the billing and the other partner who's not. And I think that can be, well, I know that can be a real challenge because depending on how financially the firm is set up, that can really put a burden on that firm or that other partner, right? So if you have some type of financial structure where you as the other partner are benefiting from the money brought in by both sides, frankly, or any of the partners, then when you have a partner who's not billing and doesn't have healthy billing habits, has a lot of AR or isn't tracking their time very well or doesn't send out their bills regularly or something like that, then it's in a lot of cases impacting you financially. And I find that fascinating because I wonder how many of you that are in partnerships had a discussion about that or knew your future partner's billing habits before getting into this partnership. And it makes me wonder how common or prevalent that conversation is. I think of it a lot like a dating relationship, right? Like, did you talk about whether or not you wanted to have kids before you got married? I feel like it's a similar kind of thing, right? Did you have that conversation about, well, how often are your bills going out, or how good are you at billing? And again, I don't mean to imply that we shouldn't be partners with people that don't have great billing habits, but I do think that needs to be taken into consideration, whether it means, building a procedure to help them or coming up with a process that aids them with that, or, making the partnership such that you're not financially impacted or not financially impacted as much by that. But I've just been meeting so many firms where there's the partnership is not necessarily even when it comes to the billing habits, and it makes me wonder about how that's affecting the firms out there that are trying to operate as a partnership. But obviously this can have a big impact, both financially, but then also from an accountability perspective, right? If the one partner is very good at time tracking and billing and getting that all done, and the other partner is not, I've seen a lot of that can turn into not just resentment for the financial aspect of it, but a little bit of, or I should say a lot of resentment for the accountability aspect as well. So I say this to make you think about, for those of you that are in a partnership, how that plays out and whether or not you're tolerating that in your partner, or whether or not that's a trade-off, right? I mean, we're in it for a business here. And if there are other benefits that we're getting from that, and that's just not one of them, fine. But I'm hoping that financially it's not having that negative impact, because sometimes I think we get like just like other negative financial aspects of our firm, sometimes we get dulled. We're dulled to the pain of that. We kind of just learn to tolerate it, and we don't think about it as much. Where I really have seen it become a huge impact for a lot of firms. So, for those of you that are not yet in partnerships, I hope that you do take that into consideration and do have those types of conversations before you enter into any type of partnership, and that you structure your partnership so that you will be successful and that you can know that going into the practice as to the billing habits of your future partners and how you can accommodate those or help with those, or use other people's strengths to bolster those. But not going into it blindly and then discovering a year into it, a few months into it, that this is not what you thought was going to happen. So, best of luck to all of you partners out there. And for those of you that are looking for help with billing, please feel free to reach out to Streamline Legal. We love to put together healthy billing procedures that will help your team be successful in your hourly or less traditional billing methods. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.